Rebuild of the favorites, we here for the latest. South side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams, both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't pull the wrong strings, yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Gantes or the whole league that we here now. New show with a new mood, discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife. Yeah.
All right. What's going on, everybody? We're just doing the retweeting and the social media stuff, if you will.
All good.
In 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, April 14th, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Zawoski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe, a.k.a. Father Zoe. With me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto.
I just want to apologize for my audio issues last week, but I guess there's just so much buzz building up in my house to watch Seiya Suzuki. And boy, is it living up to the hype.
I mean, he's playing so good, I won't even give you shit for that horrible pun. That's how good he's playing. You will notice a vacancy in the third seat. K-Fids is, air quotes, stuck in Cabo for another day. I don't remember why. I kind of stopped reading his reasoning after he said he was stuck, but yeah, the poor guy has to sit in a beautiful hotel in Cabo, and he's trying to complain to me and Aldo that I've drank every day for the last week.
Oh yeah. The trials and tribulations of K-Fiz is like poor guy. He's been drinking every day. Man. He's feeling like crap. He has to be there another night.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers to K-Fids.
Yeah. T's and P's. Throw those T's and P's to K-Fids, everybody. But it's all right, because we have a lot to cover because, well, I think everybody had high expectations for the White Sox, and they're definitely living up to them. But the Cubs have been surprisingly #good to start the year so far. Lot of positive things to touch on in this show. And we're going to do our best to touch them all. And if you're watching us live, we really appreciate it. I know the White Sox are currently in the bottom of the fourth versus the Mariners. The game started a little late here on Wednesday night because of the rain. But if you're out there, throw us on one screen, throw the White Sox on another screen. And if something cool happens, we're going to probably talk about it because I have the game on this monitor. So, and I have adult ADD. So if something happens, it's going to be like squirrel. But yeah, we have the Cubs getting their money's worth right out of the bat out of their new right fielder. Luis Robert looking like an MVP. White Sox kind of just really living up to that next man up mentality with all the injuries happening and just a whole lot more. So, crack open a cold one, stay with us, and let's tap this keg. This show is brought to you by Chicago Golf Tour, shygolftour.com. Amateur golf for the common man. It's built on schedule flexibility. If you are a golfer of any level in Chicago or Chicagoland area and you've been looking to get a little bit more competitive, this is for you. Basically, what they do is they have different events throughout the summer. They give you 2 weeks to play the course with a fellow member so you can attest for the scores. And then they have this great, very well put together website that shows you leaderboards, where you stand with everybody. What I personally like is it kind of forces your hand to go play some courses maybe you're not used to. But yeah, shygolftour.com. Use promo code SM25 to get $25 off your registration fee. shygolftour.com. And we got a little bit of a hint of the nice weather on Tuesday. It's coming. Golf season is right around the corner, so dust off those clubs, start making excuses. shygolftour.com, SM25. Hi, everybody. The first comment in the comment section could not be more accurate. You can tell, our boy Yumper says, you can tell how happy baseball makes, though. You're right, man. I mean, it's one thing that the White Sox are playing good. It's another thing I literally enjoy seeing that the Cubs are doing well for my friends on this show here. And I also have Suzuki on 2 of the 3 fantasy teams. So he's been my leader in the clubhouse for me. Um, but it's just like everything about baseball being back. Like that story I tweeted out, the little girl who's battling cancer through the first pitch at the Rays game to what's his face, the goofy guy that
What's his
pitches and
name?
smiles.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna
Fuck.
bother me now. I can
Look it
picture
up.
the
Look it
guy's
up. Look it
face
up.
in my head. Guy's
Yeah.
an animal. He comes in and pitches. He's an outfielder. Comes in and pitches. Just has the time of his life. Oh man, hot start to the show.
Great start.
Great start to the show.
Phelps? What the
No,
hell's his
hold
name?
on. Here we
I
go.
remember the play. I remember
Brett
seeing the
Phillips.
home.
Brett Phillips.
Phillips.
Brett
I was
Phillips.
close. I was close.
So Brett Phillips, to me, Brett Phillips embodies everything that's awesome about baseball. Guy looks like he's having the time of his life every time he goes out on the field. He is good, and I don't know, he just gives back. But this little girl, if you did see the tweet, this little girl, brave little girl, battling cancer, said that Brett Phillips is her favorite player. So the Rays put it together. She came out through the first pitch of the game, threw the pitch to Phillips, and then later in the game, in like the third inning, but before the game, she gave Phillips like a little friendship bracelet she made. So of course, because he's awesome, he threw it on. And in the third inning, while they're interviewing this little girl, and she's saying how awesome it was and how he's her favorite player while he's batting, just smokes a home run. And then after the game, he does an interview, and you would think maybe he talked about was how this girl's so inspiring and all this stuff. And it's just like shit like that, man. I love that shit. It's baseball. It's just
Like that's. I've always said like obviously there's stories like that in every sport and like obviously there's I mean sports in general is just great. It gets that society to connect to other things as come together as a community. But there's just something I've always said. There's something different about baseball, just because it's a daily thing for if you count spring training through the playoffs for like 8 months.
Yep.
It's not just like basketball is like 3-4 times a week. Same thing with hockey. The NFL, football, your college football, even it's one game a week.
right.
For your favorite team. But baseball, you're in a grind every day for like at least 6 months. And it's there's just like a special bond there that's I think
really
that's
is.
different from other sports.
I would definitely agree. I mean, the only other sport that's you can kind of compare it to is the NFL, because as soon as any other sport does something cool, the NFL like does some crazy fucking 4-team trade or some shit like that. But so the season has finally started. Meaningful baseball is here. We're gonna start on the south side just because I'm excited. Sorry, Aldo.
Oh no,
And
go ahead.
so the White Sox open the season in Detroit, lose first game of the series.
Season over.
Our pets' heads are falling off. We're not making the playoffs. We're not winning the division.
By the way, I know White Sox fans were upset, but I was the most upset. I drafted Liam Hendricks in our fantasy baseball draft, and little to my surprise, boom, first save opportunity, blown save.
Yeah, Liam looked a little shaky in that
2
first
blown
game.
saves.
Oh yeah, did he get a blown save for that? No.
Yeah, because he had the lead when he came in the 8th inning, and then he had the lead again in the 9th inning.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're correct. He got 2. I thought you meant, but he got the save against Seattle yesterday.
Seattle, yeah.
On Tuesday, I should say. But
shaky again.
yeah. So, but yeah. So they go to Detroit. They lose. What was it like?
I think that first game
5
was
to 4. 5-4. Right, 5-4. But then they went ahead and they won the next 2 games of the series, 5-2, and then 10-1. But the biggest takeaways out of that series: one, Lucas Giolito looked good, but he's hurt. Mild injury though, and I really think his injury has something to do with the extra muscle mass he put on. I think his body is this is the first time he's pitching in a real game with this build. I think his body was just kind of like, timeout, dude. Hold the fuck on, man.
I also like that he didn't try to do the whole I'm just gonna pitch through this and
I agree.
I'm fucking tough as hell. Like no, because he's like he felt it like on 3 like straight pitches or something. He's like, hey,
Yep.
I know I'm fucking like dominating out here, but something ain't right.
Yeah, he even said he's like, I could have won at least 2-3 more innings, but It's literally the third game of the season, so we're good. We're good here. Our first game of the season, whatever. Giolito's pitched the first game of the season, but anyways, AJ Pollock got hurt again. Not a major injury. He was leaving the team for the Seattle series anyways. His wife is having a baby, so congrats to him. And he's gonna rest that little hamstring up for a little bit. He'll be all right. I know that was the big red flag on him when the White Sox traded. Dodger friends of mine said that Dodgers Twitter refers to him as bird bones
Oh
because he
no!
gets
Oh,
hurt
that's
so
right.
much.
Yeah, I think he hasn't played more than like 100 games since like 2018 or something, or 27 before that.
But
It's
I
been a
will
while.
say the little snippet, the little taste
Oh, he can rake.
that White Sox fans got of him, bro, the way he just the smooth opposite field swings. And that's something that the White Sox don't have a lot of in the lineup. So it was very welcome to see. I think he'll be fine. He'll be back. The biggest story to me out of the gate, the thing that I would want to focus on first is we need to talk about Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease might fuck around and win a Cy Young this year. And I know I'm not just going, after one game, you know what I mean? But if you go back to the tape, I was on the Dylan Cease train from the beginning of last year. I think I was on the 108 whatever show, and my hot take was Dylan Cease is going to be top 5 Cy Young, and that was last year. So I'm continuing on. Continuing on. Dallas Keuchel, just remembered he was Dallas Keuchel. On the Dylan Cease train. His first appearance, he went 5 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, only 3 walks, which for Dylan, 3 walks is good, with 8 strikeouts. He threw 79 pitches, 46 of which were strikes. Again, for Dylan, I'm very happy with that. So that he left that game with a 1.80 ERA. But the thing is, those are numbers. Numbers are good. We are a fan of analytics and statistics on this show. We're also a hybrid in the sense where, the good old eye test means something here too. And Dylan looked dominant. I mean, yes, it was the Tigers. Not exactly world beaters, but they're an improved team. They're definitely an improved team. That lineup is definitely not the pushover it was 2 years ago. I mean, you had Javi Baez and Spencer Torkelson and some of these other guys to this lineup, and that's a pretty solid lineup. Grossman, Meadows, Canelero. I mean, shit, Shoop, Haas destroys the White Sox. Badu, like, Tigers are solid. And Cease, he looked calm, which is, I've been saying for years on this show, Dylan's biggest problem is usually between his ears. So I don't know, maybe it's the mustache. Maybe it's the mustache is kind of like calming to him or some shit like that. So he looked good, dominant. And right now with Lynn and now Giolito hurt, I mean, Dylan Cease is your de facto ace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going to need to be your stopper.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. I mean, you guys been so far lucky that there hasn't been any major. Well, I mean, I guess not really. Actually, no. I mean, your pitching staff. We talked about it, in the preview. Like the bullpen, like that is when you're talking about between starters and the bullpen. Like the bullpen, you'll feel really great about, because you still had like the couple injuries heading into the regular season. But now, obviously, with Giolito missing a couple starts, obviously Lynn starting the year injured. But Dylan Cease, yeah, I mean, he's just going to have to pick up in terms of the guy who goes the deepest in games.
Well, then here's the thing about that exact point. That was where I was going to go next with this. The White Sox bullpen has been very, very, very highly touted going into this season, which it should be. There's a lot of big names in that bullpen.
Yeah.
And game 1, they weren't great. They were shaky, and they lost that game. Bummer, Hendricks, all of them. Nobody looked really great that game. Game 1, guys. 1-62. Between then, the 2 other games of Detroit and the home opener, and oh boy, Dallas Keuchel.
You got to give us a game update here. What's happening, Zo?
So it is now 4-2 White Sox on the top of the fifth. Seattle had runners on first and third. Homeboy hit like a little tapper in front of the mound. Keuchel tried to do a Mark Burley glove flip thing to Yaz. I mean, he got it to him just
Late.
I mean, it was Crawford running, and it was really high. Like he had to come. He went from like 12 to 6 to try to make the tag, and so that made it 4-2. But they're starting to get to good old Dally, if you will.
Hey, he's into the fifth inning. Improvement.
Yeah, this is actually way more than I expected out of him tonight. Way more. But other than that first game, though, the thing with the bullpen, though, it's guys that in preview shows and everything, people weren't really talking about. And one of them's warming up right now, and Kyle Crick. Tanner Banks came out, had a great first game. My personal new favorite in this bullpen is Bennett Souza.
Oh yeah, is it Souza?
Souza. I don't know, but someone put it to the Chief Keef song, "Bitches Souza," and I'm like, hell yeah, dude, you're my guy now. They all look good though. This is what good teams do though, is these guys that no one talks about, these guys that are making MLB debuts. They're coming in when guys are struggling or whatever. And for the record, Aaron Bummer came back after that bad first game. He looks fine. People need to fucking relax when Aaron Bummer's on the mound. It's like this thing on White Sox Twitter.
I think early on for most things, I think I mentioned it right before we started recording. Like Vince Velasquez going out there having 4 innings and only giving up 1 run. It didn't look pretty. I think I watched when he was out there. There's a couple of spots where, Robert made that great catch. He was missing up with his breaking pitches. I think he got a little lucky. But at this point, if you're a Sox fan, you don't care about the luck right now. You just want the results. For Aaron Bummer coming back, I think I think that there was a few runners on when he got the save on that 5-2 win.
Yeah.
But hey, he got the save. Sox won. At this point, you're kind of just like, you gotta navigate through the rockiness of the early season, because again, it's gonna happen with good teams, bad teams, average teams, because of the shorter spring training. Like, we're seeing the pitching staffs again. If you're getting 4 innings right now, it's like, shoo, thank you, starting pitcher, for getting those 4 innings.
Literally, as you were saying that, Joel put that in the comments. Joel Martinez commented, short spring training, pitchers are still ramping up. Fans shouldn't look too much into it. Yes, 100%. Yes, Joel.
So right now, you just kind of just ride the wave of like, there's going to be some early season struggle, like Hendricks. And Hendricks, we saw it with him last year too. Remember early on, like he was still getting the job done, but there was times where he was getting rocked, and it's like, when we started against the Tigers.
4-3 White Sox in the top of the fifth. Now there's 2 outs and a runner on third.
Ooh, okay. Well, hey, if for the over betters, you gotta feel good for the over betters. But just right now you're more concerned about the results. Obviously, you want to see like the process of guys, like how they're pitching. But right now you kind of just want the results, and then once you get into the middle of the season, it's like, wait, is this guy just getting by some luck here, or is he actually pitching well?
Yep. And I mean, I guess to put Kendall Graveman, there's room to improve. I think he'll be fine. Kopech looked pretty damn good in his season debut.
Have they put that out there publicly or no? Like for his pitch inning or his limit?
The thing is, because of the short spring training, I think La Russa is. I mean, if you look, Cease went 5, Velasquez went 4, Kopech went 4, Giolito went 4, Dallas is going to go 5. Like, he's not letting these guys, and we even saw it with what's his face taking a perfect game into the
Clayton
Kershaw. And after the game, he goes, "You can blame it on the lockout. You can blame it on me not touching a ball until January. Like, you can blame it on a lot of things." Whoo, Dallas got out of it. 4-3 Sox going into the sixth, or going into the bottom of the fifth.
So you had Sox, leading first 5. That's a dub.
Yep.
No, but I was asking specifically for Kopech, because obviously,
I know what you're saying.
Have they said that at all publicly though, or no?
I don't think they will. I think they're just gonna keep playing this like short spring training. We're gonna limit our starters for the first month or two of the season, which
Mhm.
I'm okay with. I
Yeah.
really am. I want these guys for the long haul. I'm okay with Lucas Giolito taking, sitting 2 weeks to heal that abdominal strain. I'm okay with, AJ Pollock, taking 2 weeks to heal that hamstring. Get these guys healed and healed correctly. I'm good with Lance Lynn waiting until May, or June,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck he's got to do. And we mentioned it before we went live. I know there's reports coming out that Big Homie is ahead of schedule. It's a fat dude with a knee injury. He is not ahead of schedule on fucking anything. Let him heal. Do not rush him back. And hopefully, if we keep getting 4 innings from Velasquez, 5 innings from Dallas Keuchel, who's still cheeks but did pretty good tonight, that's going to give him more of a room to kind of ease back. And apparently, Johnny Cueto's sitting in the fucking weight room in full uniform, taking pictures and posting them on Twitter.
There you go.
The big horse, he's homeboy's ready to roll, man. Get him up in his crazy ass windups. Basically, what I'm saying is, do not rush Lance Lynn.
Yeah, I
Back.
was gonna say the Sox do not need to have. Don't even put that out there. Just be like,
No.
Lance, you're doing great.
Yeah,
Keep doing what you're doing. We'll see you maybe at the end of May.
yeah. Just relax, big hoss. We're still in first in
Yeah.
the division. Just hang tight, big guy. We need you for the long run. This is
It's like, hey, don't worry.
100.
You first start out there. You want to throw 110 pitches. Tony will let you loose.
Yeah, this is very much a marathon, not a sprint. Just strap it in, big boy. But so that's the pitching side of things. As far as hitting, I mean, can we just start with the man?
Luis Robert.
Can we
I
just
saw a
start
tweet.
with the man?
I saw a tweet the other day. Or I think it was during the Tuesday's game, the 3-2 win, and it was like, I free. I wish I could remember who tweeted. But they're like, I wish. I don't. He said. I think it was he or she. I forget if it was he or she said. I don't think White Sox fans know exactly how good Luis Robert is. And I think that's kind of true. Just because
I think
if
it's
you look
fair
at
to
just
say.
the games played, like he hasn't played a lot of games, but he's been
Mhm.
great at the end of last year. And like
That's
I don't think we know how great he is.
no, and I said it in my little Twitter live rant after the home opener. I I always, for me personally, and I mean everybody, do what you got to do. I wait till a player plays 162 games, a full season worth of baseball, before I make my official stance on a guy. I have theories, I have feelings about a player, but
Yeah.
until I like put that official like stamp on a guy, I want to see 162 games. But Luis Robert is special, man. I don't think we've had a true five-tool player on the South Side in quite some time, if ever. I'm sure.
I'm thinking, yeah, if
Like
ever.
Frank Thomas wasn't a. You don't consider Frank Thomas five tools.
No.
Like I mean, Bo
Like
Jackson.
pure hitter, yeah. Like one of the top, best top 5 right-handed hitter of all time. But like
Yeah,
overall, like 5-tool guy, yeah, no.
he doesn't have the speed,
The speed,
And I mean,
defense,
all
yeah.
you need. The what I was trying to say, and I was so excited. I don't even know if I said this clearly enough. After the home opener, for those of you that, for some weird reason, don't know, Luis Robert made a catch at the wall where he sprinted like 50 yards to make the damn catch. He hit a home run off a pitcher who looked unhittable that day. He took a walk, which we're going to get to that in a minute, and then stole third and scored, which turned out to be the game-winning run. And he stole third with no outs.
Mhm.
So there, I mean, literally, we basically just covered the 5 tools. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in that one game. But the reason why I was so excited is because I feel like that one game truly showcased to White Sox fans, to baseball fans, what Luis Robert is capable of. And he's still
Mhm.
so young. But the biggest, I mean, not the biggest, but one thing that really, really stood out to me, especially in that first game against Seattle, when that kid came to the mound and he had just filthy breaking stuff. And if you guys remember 2 years ago, last year, Luis Robert, he needed hat for bat. Like he could not hit a breaking ball to save his life, but he was sitting and he was working counts and he was not chasing balls in the dirt. And he's taking these late inning walks. And these are things to me that show development. And as I kind of crudely said in my rant, if he really has learned how to take those breaking pitches, the rest of the league is fucked. You're fucked because he's going to be disgusting.
Yeah.
Ralph in the comment section said, "Is TA a 5-tool player? If no, then why not? His defense has improved." He's the closest besides Robert.
Yeah, I just
without a doubt.
Louis. I know I made fun of Chuck Garfien like a spring training a couple of years ago when he was mentioning how Luis Robert made like everything look so easy, like at a normal fly ball. But no, he truly is just that play. That play against, it was Jesse Winker just smokes a ball to right center field. Luis Robert, I think, was shading a little over to a left center. And as you said, he's really like 50 yards, goes up, makes the catch up against the wall, made it look easy. Like he just makes it look those hard plays. That was the hard play, makes it look easy. I know TA has improved defensively, but
I think
Luis Robert is like he won the Gold Glove last year, didn't he? Or should have?
Yeah,
He won it, right?
I think TA.
Or I guess he didn't play enough. But.
This is a big season for TA defensively, in my opinion. He won the batting crown. Everybody knows TA can hit. He's at the pinnacle of the offensive side of his game. TA is definitely the type of guy that he wants to be known as like the best shortstop in the league.
Yeah.
For TA to be known as the best shortstop in the league, he doesn't need to win a Gold Glove, but he needs to be like have a Gold Glove caliber like season.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's lost on him.
I think the other difference is obviously the power. Like they're just different hitters.
Yeah.
I think overall just Luis Robert with the power tool there. A little bit of nothing against TA, but yeah.
No, TA
just kind of just different levels, I think.
Yep.
Obviously, TA has proved it hitting wise for multiple years now, so he does have that edge. But I think going forward, Luis Robert is special, man.
Yes. And the other thing that I'm taking away from the White Sox hitting, and we'll switch over to the Cubs for a minute, and then we'll just kind of do wherever we want to go, is besides Lurie Garcia, the White Sox aren't striking out at that high of a clip like they used to. You're seeing a lot of these younger guys like Eloy Jimenez, as we mentioned, Luis Robert, Andrew Vaughn when he's in there, which I want to talk about.
Is he? By the way, is he your boy now? Like, is he your new boy?
Vaughn?
Yeah.
He's close. He's in the. I mean, Luis Robert is God, in my opinion.
But like, he's too good, though.
I know that's the thing. Luis Robert can't be like my guy because he's
like everybody. Yeah,
yeah. Like, but there's some weird dudes on Twitter right now that are like Andrew Vaughn dudes, and like
join the weird crew.
I don't want to. I really don't. I don't want to. But what we're seeing from these White Sox hitters that we didn't see in the last couple of years is them working counts. Seeing pitches. What's up, Fids? Go back to your horrible tragedy where you have to sit and stuck in Cabo and drink.
Yeah, don't drink more, Kevin.
Yeah, please stop having a great time in Mexico. I can't believe you're putting the things you do for your fiance.
Right,
my God, you poor bastard. But we're seeing the White Sox work counts, see more pitches. In a year where I think a lot of the bullpens aren't, I would say, strong. If this team, especially with how good they are at hitting, could get into teams' bullpens at a higher clip, at a quicker rate, they're hitting the ball very hard too.
I was gonna say, by the way,
that's true, Yumper. I think Vaughn is Fids' guy. I don't want to double up on Fids. Fids has been a Vaughn guy since he's been drafted.
I was gonna say, I would want to see, obviously, like in a fantasy land, I want to see like prime Randy Johnson against this lineup because the White Sox are still killing left-handed pitchers,
as demonstrated by them what they did to the reigning Cy Young winner.
Yeah, Robbie Ray, like reigning Cy Young, dominating last year, and like comes out here. Goes against the White Sox, gets 100-mile-per-hour exit velocity every other batter.
Yep, smoking the ball. Which, side note, Jake Berger, that boy can just flat out hit. And I know Yohan's going to be back soon, but like
trade bait, Yohan Moncada.
He could be. Well, one of those two. I
doubt. No, don't fall into this trap.
No, they're not going to trade Yohan Moncada. Jake Berger could be something of value if they're like one piece away at the trade deadline.
I mean, obviously it sucks that Yohan Moncada had the what was it, a hip
I think
Hamstring?
it was something weird.
Whatever his injury
it was one of
was.
those things where they're like, "Oh, he looks fine," and then he sneezes and he like curls into a ball.
So, like, obviously that sucks that, it's starting the year in the injured list, but it obviously opens up a spot for Jake Berger. And hey, great for Jake Berger. He's taking advantage, getting some hits in
Mhm.
here. And, we talk about it. Just if you're a fan of a guy, he's not always going to be successful on your team, but just because he's not successful on your team does not mean that he can't help your team.
Right.
If
That's
Jake
a
Berger
great way to
just
put it.
keeps smashing for
Oh
I
boy.
don't know how long Yohan Moncada is going to be out for, but if he can just keep
Oh,
smashing.
doctor.
What happened? What happened?
Oh, Adam Engel robbed a home run at the wall.
Oh, Gold
Suck it.
Glover.
Suck it.
Who
That
did
was
you
so
rob?
weird. It was who's the skinny ass left Winkler?
Winker?
Yeah. It was so weird though. That ball felt like it was in the air for like 2 days,
Forever?
and Engel was just sitting at the base of the wall, like, and then he just like jumped up and snagged it. What a play! Oh,
I could think it was Adam Engel, not AJ Pollock.
it stays at 4-3. If Adam Engel could start hitting the damn ball, woo, girl.
If you can, it's always Adam Engel's always going to be a guy. It's like, man, if you can combine his defense with somebody else's hitting, but like I think we're going to have that conversation for year after year.
Yeah,
I don't know, but if
agree.
Jake Berger keeps like smashing, like he does open up the chance where like teams are like, hey, this guy looks healthy now. Kid can smash.
Yep.
Maybe
And
we'll give you something valuable.
especially for a team like the White Sox, who can very well be like one piece away at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And and yeah, I know that would suck because Jake Berger is one of the best stories in baseball. Tore both legs up, came back, super nice guy, big smile, love the kid, but where are you going to put him?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we might as well go into it because you already have an issue on your hand with what the fuck do you do with Andrew Vaughn? Andrew Vaughn is coming out of the gates hot right now. Going into Wednesday night's game, he's hitting 400. You know what I mean? He had the same amount of total bases as Luis Robert going into Wednesday night's game. And he smashed a huge home run in the Detroit series. He's leading the team right now with 2 home runs. I know it's very early, but I'm just saying, like, he's hitting the ball, and it's not just against lefties, folks.
I was gonna say, obviously he was drafted in 2019, right? 2019.
I believe so.
He plays in the minors for like that month and a half, 2 months
for a cup
maybe
of
after
coffee.
in the summer. 2020 entire minor league season gets canceled because of COVID, but he's in the alternate training site. But obviously they're not playing, they're not playing like real games there. 2021 happens, makes the team. He's in the lineup, in and out of the lineup, struggles. And I remember last year, obviously he's Kevin's guy since draft day.
Yep.
He's been on him, but I was very surprised when last year when they started the season and Kevin's like, and I do get it now. Looking back, I do get it because of the lost time. He barely played in the minor leagues.
Yep.
But the way that
literally a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but the way he was being talked up was like, no, he's a major league hitter now. So I was very surprised, like some of the. And I know the White Sox, obviously they're a competing team, so you want to have your best guys out there at all times because you are, going for a playoff run there throughout the season. But I was very surprised at some of the thoughts is like, well, Jake or Andrew Vaughn shouldn't be playing every day. Give Andrew Vaughn if he's struggling, give him off days.
Right.
I was basing this off the way that Kevin was like talking him up, and I trust Kevin's eye.
Yeah.
Coaching guys like seeing a lot more amateur players than I ever will.
Right.
So I was very surprised, like his thoughts that were kind of like in that same realm was like, yeah, no, like maybe he shouldn't be playing every day. But the way he was talking up the bat, I was like, why isn't he playing every day? If he's going to struggle, let him struggle. He'll come out the other side. Fine. This year, we're seeing we knew he was going to start the year in the platoon with Gavin Sheets.
Yep. That was the plan.
Yeah. But like I've always been on board with give Andrew Vaughn as many at bat, like get him in the lineup as many times as you can. Like the same thing with Luis Robert back in 2020.
Well,
like all these guys, just get in. If they are the hitter you think they are.
This kind of goes into what we're talking about. Eloy Jimenez left Wednesday night's game with left ankle soreness.
Oh boy.
No, it's nothing, dude. Like in the third inning, Robbie Ray hit him with a heartbreaking slider down and in. He fouled it off his ankle. and then he came
Okay.
up his next at bat against Robbie Ray, and he hit a fucking nuke.
Oh, all
I
right.
mean,
Just
I think
sorry.
it's just more of a like, it's the 5th game of the year.
Caution.
Homeboy's
Yeah.
hurt. Yeah, let's take him out. But if it turns out to be anything, Andrew Vaughn plays left field.
Oh
So
man.
and I didn't mean to cut you off, but also like I'm very happy. I was very happy to see that, like, amidst all these A's trade rumors for Frankie, that the A's came out swinging and said, "Give us Vaughn," and Hahn was like, "Nah, son."
Yeah.
And I was very happy to hear that. 'Cause you know what Andrew Vaughn brings to your team now, and I'm glad Kevin's not here because he'd probably yell at me for this, but he's kind of like out of necessity, like evolving into like this Chris Bryant type player where he could play
Just play
left
different
field,
spots.
right field. He could play first base. Shit, he played second base one game last year. That would never happen again. I mean, he played third base before. Like, and I agree with Yumper in the comment section. You got to think that Vaughn's sitting or Han's sitting there going, well, Jose Abreu ain't getting any younger.
Yeah.
This is my first base. This is my plan for when Jose hangs him up. But right now, especially with the team who loves to have these weird ass injuries, Vaughn is a like gold commodity.
Yeah, no, and again, I don't know. I hope for the White Sox that it happens sooner rather than later, but I think you have to have one in there every day.
You gotta figure out a way. Yeah,
You just have to. Like,
you gotta
again,
figure out a way.
at this point, you cannot say, "Hey, it's Gavin Sheets or Andrew Vaughn. We need to give Sheets those at bats." No. Like, if you look down the line, your next 3-4 years, who you're going to be counting on, it's not going to be Gavin Sheets. It's going to be Andrew Vaughn. Give him as much experience as you can right now.
Wouldn't be surprised if it was a Sheets burger package for that player that we talked about, this mystery player to put him over the hump. But like, yeah, I mean, if I'm Andrew Vaughn right now, the best thing he could do is just force the issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just go out there.
Just keep hitting rockets.
Just keep hitting fucking laser beams all over the goddamn field. And I know his home run against Detroit was against a righty, and I made like a very like goofy tweet, like, looks like someone figured out righties. I got 30 replies to that. It was a hanger. It was whatever, dude. He still smoked it.
So we can't tweet out anything.
No.
We can't tweet out anything because I mean, I love Twitter, but holy shit, sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if you tweet something bad, oh, you're being too negative. It's too early in the season. You tweet out something, you try to be positive. It's like, oh, like, who fucking cares? It's off a bum. It's a hanger. Yep. It's one game. It's one at bat.
And usually I don't mind that shit, but it was just I actually laugh at that kind of stuff. Like, I find that stuff funny, but like I kept getting notification like, it was a hanger. Did you see the pitch? I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Don't worry.
You got to be like, I mean, yeah, he killed it. That's what he's supposed to do. Like, you should be happy.
He did his fucking job. Yes, 100%. Yes. But I think Vaughn keeps forcing the issue. I think they're going to need to find a way. And again, I said it on our season preview. It's nice to finally talk about the White Sox having different lineup options, and none of them suck.
Yeah,
because usually they would
position, but yeah,
I know, but they would have that Sunday lineup, and it would be like, oh Jesus, what is this fucking?
Yeah, they had
garbage?
The Sunday lineup. They put up a 10 spot.
Yeah, exactly. And again, very very early reaction, but I love Josh Harrison on this team.
Yes,
absolutely.
I said it when we talked about it back, like, once baseball was back after the lockout. He's just a fun guy, cool guy, another fun, cool guy you can root for.
Absolutely love him on his team. Dude, the energy that I'm seeing him bring to the dugout day in and day out so far, just the big ass smile, getting guys pumped up. He said he did the rev the engine celebration because he said Eloy does that and he's trying to fit in. Like, he's just like, but he's hitting, bro. He's getting on base.
I tweeted out, like, I think one of his first hits or something during spring training, like, Josh Harrison, professional hitter.
He's getting on base. And in the game against the Mariners on Wednesday night, right before we went live, he made a very smooth play to his left to take away a base hit. And I really think the energy that he's bringing to this, and you got to remember the White Sox still have a fairly young team outside of like Abreu and Grandal. Like TA, I guess, isn't young anymore. Moncada's still pretty young. Eloy's young. Robert's young. Vaughn, Cheat, all these guys, and to see a veteran who's done everything in this league having that much fun
Yeah.
and still producing, that does something. That means something. I know there's people that are like, oh, I don't give a shit about what he's a good locker room guy. I get that. I get why you don't give a shit. But a guy like Josh and TA has already said repeatedly already this season how it's different having him to his left.
I mean, the thing I'll say, like, I don't think it can't be a negative, so it can only be a good thing. Especially,
Yes.
obviously, when you have a winning team, obviously, maybe those guys can get annoying when, like, they're losing and it's just, like, a happy-go-lucky guy. But, like,
That's
hey,
a good
dude,
point. That's a
like,
good
chill the
point.
fuck out. Like, we're on a 5-game losing streak.
Yep.
But when you're on a winning team, you want to keep those, the cliche, the positive vibes going. It's
Mhm.
great to have guys like Josh Harrison.
Yeah.
And it just adds to that culture. Yeah.
I got to think after that first game of the season, he's the first guy in the locker room being like, guys, it's game fucking one. Let's go. Like, look in this locker room. We're going to be good. Like, just calm the fuck down. Let's go.
I do want to see like a post blown save Liam Hendricks, like, because obviously we know he
We came in on
curses everybody
he
out
came
on
in
the
on
mound.
Tuesday, and the thing would all right. So Tuesday was shaky, the save against the Mariners on the home opener. But if you really break that save down, he struck out the first guy, and then he had like some like freak ass weird infield single where the ball bounced weird over his head and he couldn't get a hold of it, and then he gave up base hit, but then he got out of the inning. He got the save. You know what I mean? Like, the stuff looks good. And again, I don't know why everybody else gets this short spring training, they're ramping up pass, and then Liam Hendricks doesn't come out and blow the doors off people right away. And it's like, what the
I'm
fuck's
telling you,
wrong
man,
with him?
closers are just like NFL kickers.
That's true.
You can be great, but if you have that, big moment, obviously the closer is always going to be a big moment. And but if you, late last second kicker misses it, always going to get shit on, even if you went 4 for 4 in the game. Like Liam Hendricks can go the rest of the season being great, but you're gonna still have guys being like, yeah, but he got rocked by Baez.
Quick update: X-rays were normal, nothing's broken. Eloy is considered day to day with he got a little bruise on his ankle.
All right.
Good, give him a day off. Let Vaughn play left field tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm good with that. And it's weird that I could say that.
What?
Yeah, I couldn't say that before. And it's just weird. And by the way, also a little breaking news for those that are watching this live. Vlad Guerrero Jr. is just being downright disrespectful to the New York Yankees tonight.
Love
it. 3 home runs. And also, as we're talking right now, Andrew Vaughn just ripped another base hit to right field. Just beautiful. Dude's just fucking raking right now. But yeah, Vladdy, 3 bombs in New York. Fuck you, Garrett Cole.
That guy's good.
I was laughing my ass off when Garrett Cole blamed Billy Crystal for moving the opening pitch back like 3 minutes.
That's the thing, because we all know it. Pitchers are fucking psychos. They're
they're like NHL goalies. They're
like they have to have like their routine down to the second. So I get it. But when I saw that it was only like a 4-minute difference, I'm like, dude, what? Yep. Like I thought it was like, oh, like it was like they went by like 25 minutes or something. So he went like an extra 20 minutes without throwing between his like bullpen and then getting on the mound. But it was like 4 minutes. Come on.
Just absolutely ludicrous. I mean, and he went nuts about it. But hold on, we do need to get to the Cubs game, dude.
Oh, we do.
Because the Cubs have been better than people thought.
A little lucky, but I'll take it.
Yeah, came out, beat the Brewers 5-4. Second game got rained out. Beat the Brewers 9-0. Then they took a loss by 1. Beat Pittsburgh 2-1, and then they lost on Wednesday today 6-2. 6-2. But there is a lot of positives if you're a Cubs fan. And, I mean, let's just, like I said with Luis Robert, can we talk about the man? About the man?
Seiya Suzuki. So, I think he's now up to, I think it's like over 80 pitches now that he's seen through these first 5 games. He has been thrown, or no, he has chased only 2 pitches out of the strike zone. One of those 2 pitches you got to hit off of. This guy does not swing at balls.
I gotta say, one thing that I've been extremely impressed about the worry when you take a guy from Japan is that there's going to be like an adjustment period.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? This dude, talk about ready to go right out of the box. Like the Cubs got a new toy and it just started working right away.
Ve-
Like
Very first game against fucking Cy Young winner. Again, we're talking about White Sox against Robbie Ray. Cubs against Corbin Burns on the season opener Thursday. Seiya Suzuki's, he goes, he went like 1 for 3, 2 walks. The man just knows the strike zone. Like, I have not seen this good of a strike zone like from a hitter since, like, I think with the Cubs at least, like since Ben Zobrist. Because Ben Zobrist was like renowned for his eye at the plate.
everybody
Seiya Suzuki,
make sure
like,
Seiya doesn't get some batshit crazy wife.
let's hope not. No pastors this time. Seiya Suzuki is incredible. That's the thing. I never had I didn't think it was gonna be this like amazing, but I saw the numbers from Japan. It's like, okay, no, this guy isn't just like the slap hitter and like, oh, the power, like he just kind of hits for power, short home runs. When I saw the walk rate, it's like, no, this guy's gonna succeed because he knows the strike zone. He's gonna take his walks.
So for the Sox fans watching this, although I just want to back your point. Going into the show tonight, Seiya Suzuki had 15 at bats. He has 15 total bases, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, 9 RBIs, 3 bombs. So he's 6 for 15.
615 with the 5 walks. Yeah, no, and again, it's not just like, oh, the 5 walks. He's chased 2 pitches out of the strike zone out of like 30 balls.
And for those of you that don't follow along, these weren't wall scraper home runs.
No.
They were fucking certified Zoe piss missiles. All 3 of them. Like, yeah. We gotta work on it. We gotta work on a bat flip though. He needs a bat flip.
He does. He had the little one. He had a little one.
We need like a signature one, like a Yasmani Grandal like bat drop. It doesn't have to be big and flashy, but he needs something. He needs a signature.
I wouldn't mind the big and flashy, but no, he needs to work on it. That's the only part of his game that he does need to work on so far. But the power. That's what I was like. Obviously, that's what everybody's worried about. It's like, is the power going to translate to MLB? Is he going to be able to hit MLB velocity? Dude's just hitting Oppo tacos, hitting like near 400-foot home runs. This guy's the real deal. And again, maybe it shouldn't be that surprising because, we're not talking about a guy who might be past his prime. Like, when his name first came up in the offseason, it's like, oh, Seiya Suzuki, he's going to be posted by his team in Japan. Cubs might be interested. I did think back immediately, and it's terrible because it's like we always make fun of the guys who just compare Japanese players to other Japanese players. Mm-hmm. But I was like, man, like, is this guy just going to be another Shogo Akiyama? Shogo Akiyama, who the Cubs also pursued back in 2020. He was released this offseason by the Reds. He did not adjust to MLB pitching. But Shogo Akiyama, completely different profile as a player, and he was like 32 when he signed. Seiya Suzuki, 27 in his hitting his prime.
Yep.
And just a beast of a player. The power is there. The important stuff is just, to me, is the approach. He knows the strike zone so well. And this is like something the Cubs needed, like after all the swing and miss that we saw for the past 4 or 5 years. Mm-hmm. Not this guy.
Well, although our guy Omar here has put a lot of questions in the chat, and so he says, if I'm a Chicago Cubs fan, I want Brendan Davis in the major league. So right now, you got Ian Happ in center field who's batting .538. Ian Happ's just going goofy. You got Seiya in right field. I mean, do you want to see Brendan Davis in left?
No, so right now Happ's playing left.
Oh, I'm sorry. Happ's playing left. Ortega's in center.
Yeah, we have right now. It's Hayward. Hayward has gotten the most starts in center field so far. It's been Hayward and Ortega mainly in center, and then Seiya Suzuki in right. I think Brennan Davis will come up. Obviously, he's going to make his day. He's going to come up with the Cubs this year. I don't know when. I'm thinking like just because this is a complete guess, maybe June, July. But he again, we talk about Andrew Vaughn and him having the cup of coffee in the minors.
Right.
Brendan Davis also had 2020 minor league season lost. He also dealt with a couple wrist. He got hit in the wrist like multiple times when he was starting to break out. So like he as much as highly touted as a prospect is, he doesn't have a lot of like just playing time.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and he started this year in AAA. It started pretty rough. He was like first like 3 or 4 games, he was like 0 for 13 with like 8 strikeouts or something. So I don't want him. I don't want him to be just
You
like,
don't want to
hey, come
rush
up
it.
just because.
Yeah.
I, get a couple months in AAA. I'm completely fine with that. This isn't a situation where like, oh, they're doing it because they're manipulating it as a service time. They're not. That's not this situation. He's gonna come up like in the summer,
Late May.
and then right now we just have to kind of bear the Jason Hayward storm because he's getting most of the starts out there right now.
Jason Hayward and Ortega combined are 3 for 21 this season.
Yeah, no, rough. And I think that's the thing with Ortega. I think Ortega has like 1 hit, a double that he had against the Brewers, but at least he walks. At least that dude also walks.
Here,
but
Ryan Torvet comments here. I saw a story talking about how Hayward is helping Suzuki adjusting by playing center next to him. Not a Jay Hay fan, but that's definitely his value. We were just kind of talking about that with Josh Harrison. This is something that these kind of vets can do for a team.
Here's the thing. So obviously all through, spring training and stuff, we're like, should Jason Hayward even be on the roster? They should just DFA.
We could talk about this now so Fids doesn't go nuts.
No, but even to that point, it's like he is still a veteran guy. He obviously didn't live up to the hype, to the contract, whatever. Cubs can't do anything about that now. It's a sunk cost, whatever.
Yep.
What Jason Hayward can do, I know he yelled at KB one time. Like I can't really hold that against him. Like
he gave the infemous rain delay.
He gave the speech. Like no, I don't even care about that. It's like right now, what he is a veteran player. He has been. He was once a elite, defensive outfielder.
He was so good in Atlanta.
Whatever guidance he can give these players, great. Fantastic. I love the other day when the bench was cleared between the Cubs and Brewers. Who was the first guy there, getting between Keegan Thompson and McCutchen and like the Brewers bench? It was Jason Hayward. You gotta love that. Like, hey, he's still the veteran guy. He's still up there, protecting his teammates.
In all fairness, it's a baseball fight.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing. Nothing was ever gonna happen. but
it's a baseball.
But you still love to see a guy going out there, sticking for his guys.
No, you do, and there's no doubt about it. And there is
whatever Jason Hayward can provide, if it's coaching, earn those $23 million. Jason.
Yeah, hey, you got Grandpa Rossi at the helm. Get Jay Hay, make him the Joey Cora to the Ozzie Guillen.
But this obviously the Cubs are in a different situation because the Cubs, I know they're 3-2, got off to a great start against the Brewers. But realistically, we'll see how it goes. Hey, fingers crossed. Who knows? But anything can happen. But realistically, they're probably not going to be contenders this year. And the point does remain the same though with Jason Hayward. He is taking away at bats from guys who need it more. So a guy like even Ortega, even though he's a veteran guy, a 30-year-old journeyman for the most part, but more guys like Clint Frazier or Michael Hermosillo. He is taking playing time away from those guys, which sucks. Hopefully, once we get to May, because Jason Hayward has like 2 hits or 3 hits, I think. I think 2 of them. One of them was a dropped pop-up or like an infield pop-up that no one caught. Hayward and another one was like a little dribbler that Colton Wong couldn't field.
Right.
So but to your point, not like he's...
To your point, exactly what you're saying right now, Yumper in the comments says he has a feeling that Happ is traded at the deadline if he continues to rake along with Willie.
It's possible.
If they're not contenders, yes, 100%, yes.
It's possible, yeah. Obviously, if they're not showing that they're even going to be like by the wild card, Wilson Contreras was definitely on the trade block. Might even see Kyle Hendricks. Hopefully, Kyle Hendricks. There's too much heckle and jive with him going on right now. He was fantastic opening day, like career high in whiffs. Made the Brewers look like a joke, and then comes out against the Pirates, can't locate his pitches, gets fucking rocked by Ben Gamel, who's like
how old is Ian
Hall of Famer?
Sorry,
Ian Hendricks?
Ian Happ's 27.
Ian Happ is still like
he's got some time.
I am still an Ian Happ believer. I do not want to see him traded because yes, the Cubs have Brennan Davis. They have a couple other Owen Casey, Kevin Alcantara, but those guys are
Howard,
like
yeah.
19 years old. Those guys
Right.
are years away still. Ian Happ is good. Yes, he's had his struggles, but I mean,
Yeah,
you go
that
back
was
to
my
last
next
season.
question that Yumper just answered. They got 2 years left of control. Or
Yeah.
they have this year and then next
For
year.
Happ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of bullpen guys stepping up, Jose Ruiz just came in the 7th inning and threw a fucking gem for the
There
White
you
Sox.
go.
Struck out 2, and the third guy hit a dribbler up the middle.
I need those. I need more of those from Jose Ruiz because my perception still from last year. I know he didn't have like a terrible year or anything, but anytime Jose Ruiz was in the game, the White Sox were already losing or they were about to lose.
Yeah, he got kind of he took his
He was like the mop-up guy.
he took his licks last year in some shitty situations, but
Yeah.
some of the other things though with the Cubs, I mean, that you got to be happy with. We've touched briefly. Wilson Contreras currently hitting 308. Ian Happ's doing really well. Nico Horner seems to be showing what he can do. That one play he had at shortstop, throwing off his foot, fading away like a Derek Jeter-esque type throw. And I mean, it was a laser, and that was
He
one of the
loves making those
knocks.
plays. He's been a few of those.
But that was one of the knocks about Horner playing shortstop
Yep.
was people questioned if he had the arm for it, and that was a great throw.
So going back to Moncada being hurt and getting Jake Bridger in there it really looked like the Cubs were just going to start Andrelton Simmons at shortstop, but he had like a shoulder injury in spring training, and I don't think he ever played the field. But so that forced the Cubs to start Nico Horner at shortstop, which he should have been anyway. I have no clue why that wasn't the plan in the first place, but I'm glad. It sucks to say, but I'm glad that injury did pop up. That minor, it's nothing serious.
You could say it this way: you're just glad how things panned out.
Yes, the way the things turned out. Yeah.
Yep.
But here is the annoying thing. I know Kevin's been doing it almost daily. It's early in the season. I really don't have that energy to do it right now, but I am getting to the point where, I mentioned, Andrew wanting to get in the lineup every day, get as many looks as he can. I'm happy that Nico Horner, I think Nico Horner started every game so far, except for there was like the game that was rained out. He wasn't in the lineup, but they got rained out, and then, that never happened. Nico Horner's batting 9th right now. There's no reason that he shouldn't be in the top.
Nick Madrigal should not be leading off for the Cubs right now.
Yeah, Nick. It is early.
It's a slow start.
It is early. No, it's not even. I don't even care that he's not getting hits. He has like one hit.
He's
doing the thing.
He's only struck out twice.
He's doing the thing that we all feared. We love contact. We hate soft contact. Yep. He's hitting a lot of ground balls to the left side, the little squibbers to the second baseman. But it's the early. That's the thing. Talking about his struggles he's still young. I'm not worried about Nick Madrigal right now. He's another guy who's like barely played.
Wait till the 162.
But when you get guys like Patrick Wisdom, who is off to a bad start, there is. I know I bet on him to hit a home run against Quintana. I just thought maybe it could be a good matchup. Like Jose Quintana was like carving up the Cubs, but except for Seiya Suzuki. But Patrick Wisdom just looks like it's not even like 99, 100 mile per hour fastballs. He's like behind like on 93, 94.
Yeah, he looks like he's swinging through water.
He's like check swinging balls. He's striking out on he just looks completely lost up there. And again, maybe it is the pressure because he ended 2021 terribly. And he's like, hey, I need to pick it up here. I'm going to be back in the minors. And, I hate to say you never root against guys. You always hope for the best. But the early trend here, and it's not even the early trend for 2022. It's the trend going back to like the last couple of months in 2021. We're not talking about a week here for Patrick Wisdom. We're talking about like more than 2 months of sample size of pitchers. Again, figured him out, and he hasn't readjusted. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Jonathan Villar at third base and Patrick Wisdom, and by the end of April. Because he's, I hate to say, or I didn't want to say it in the offseason just because you always want to give guys at least a little bit of a leeway. But every time you post something about Wisdom or Schwindel had a solid game on Wednesday. At least he's, as Kevin said, he's seeing some pitches, taking a couple walks at least, making some solid contact. Patrick Wisdom, on the other hand, not striking out whiffing. The defense is still great at third base. That's cool, but offensively, he's been brutal. There is no reason that he should be batting in the top like 6 spots
with
in the lineup.
regards to the lineup stuff, let's put a pin in that to next week because Fitz has to be here for this conversation. And I want the people listening to know that there's no one on this planet more upset at David Ross's lineup cards than
White Sox fans thought that they hated Ricky Renteria's lineups
and Ricky's too. Yeah,
they have no clue.
The disdain. Literally, I don't obviously follow like what the Cubs lineup is and stuff. Oh, Tim Anderson,
another hit.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, 5-3 White Sox. Tim Anderson, Oppo Taco.
Shutting my mouth up, saying he doesn't have the same power as Luis Robert.
We gotta just keep talking shit because everything we've talked about so far has like happened. Like
Patrick Wisdom was left to hit like 5 home runs in Colorado.
Yep. TA though, effortless swing. For some reason, Robbie Ray is still in this game for Seattle.
How many pitches is he at? Yeah, I thought everybody was on a pitch limit here.
He's only at 84, but I mean it's pouring rain out. He's not exactly carving up the White Sox. I mean,
it was still a close game. I don't
know. I guess I don't know. But anyways, Tim Anderson, beautiful swing, inside out swing. You got it over the bullpen bar, so it was a nice little poke. I mean,
Tim Anderson has what a fascinating career because again, I think it was like a complete 2-3 years where he was just.
Have you watched any of the YouTube? The
new stuff?
Story?
No.
Yeah, I recommend it. If anything, it's interesting.
Okay.
I mean, you want to talk about his career? Oh my goodness!
Another one?
Woohoo! Luis Robert is that man. Luis Robert is that man.
Oh, I guess you're right. Though Robert Ray shouldn't have been in there.
Luis Robert is that man. Back-to-back jacks with TA, both opposite field in the fucking rain. Go crazy South Side. Woo!
For all of you who
I'm trying to like
hold
it in a little bit.
For all of you who responsibly bet, go on PointsBet. Use promo code Pinwheels.
Yes.
Anytime the White Sox face a left-handed starter, bet on the White Sox.
Doesn't matter if he's like reigning Cy Young.
Yeah, it doesn't. It could be Sandy Koufax. It won't matter. The White Sox offense is the real deal there.
Dude,
very jealous.
I'm shocked that he's still in the game.
Yeah, that's weird. Speaking of left-handed starters, Justin Steele, that was another great positive opening weekend. He got out there, and that's the thing. We always talk about guys when they're on. It's like, it's great when guys are just mowing other guys down, but like you kind of want to see how do guys look like when they don't have their A stuff or their B stuff or even their C stuff. Sometimes Justin Steele's breaking pitches really weren't there. He's missing up in the zone a lot, but he still got through it. Got big strikeouts in big situations, 5 scoreless innings. Another young guy, another homegrown guy.
Apparently, you and Fids are in a tight fantasy match.
Just pooped.
Pops.
Oh, our fantasy. Yeah, we are.
I mean, I'm starting to really like this whole TA batting 1, Robert batting 2 thing. Because
hey, I said it since day 1. Remember? I was on 2020. They bat him second. He's your best fucking hitter.
I mean, whoo, girl. This is that's something special. But I didn't mean to cut the.
No. Talk about baseball bringing you joys. You're like at a full 100% smile right now.
I'm just glad the camera's only from the chest up. Let's just put it that way.
There's a shadow coming up.
I will say though, as far as the Cubs pitching is concerned, I mean, like you mentioned, Hendricks had a pretty shitty outing against Pittsburgh, but. Steele looked great. Stroman looked great. I mean, shit. Drew Smiley.
Ground ball machine.
And then out of the bullpen, you got some guys coming out.
Well, who's the closer right now?
Who's the closer right now?
White Sox legend.
Oh, Cody
Robertson.
Oh no. Oh fuck, Robertson. Is Cody Hoare is like he had surgery.
Yeah, he had Tommy John. He's
good for David Robertson. Holy shit.
David Robertson is back, baby.
Did not see that coming.
2 for 2. He's been nails.
Yep. So we got a guy named Matt Festa pitching for
Festa. Oh, that guy's gonna give up like 4 home runs now.
He's a righty. He struck two
Oh,
out
the kryptonite.
in his 11 pitches last night or on Tuesday night. So, but I think I'm happy the Cubs got out to this hot start. Apparently Milwaukee's aces all forgot how to pitch for the opening series.
And that's the thing. The Brewers can't score.
No, well, it looks like
That's what's so annoying about the Brewers is that they do win, and it's because of their pitching, because their offense is like mediocre at best. At best. But they struggled. I mean, Burns was terrible. Woodruff was bad.
couldn't find a strike zone to save their life.
Yeah, Peralta was like the best out of those three,
Yep.
but even he struggled against, and he dominates the Cubs too. I mean, all those three guys have dominated the Cubs, but no, that was a good. Also, we talked about Suzuki not chasing, being patient, making a lot of contact. Overall, that opening series against the Brewers, up and down the lineup, the Cubs made a lot of contact against the Brewers. Contact could also kill you because we saw a big double play off the bat of Contreras against the Pirates on Wednesday when they were down. But no, it's again, you mentioned how overall your player. How do you feel about you talked about tweeting about Andrew Vaughn and joking like, oh, he figured out right-handed pitchers. So how long in a season are you like, okay, I will now seriously tweet something out because I'm not making a joke, but this is how I feel about a player so far in the season. So what's your threshold of games?
Oh, it has to be at least after the All-Star break.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, that's a little long.
Like, do you take anything to account, like going back to like last season?
A little bit for a guy like Vaughn. It's such a small window of things, but like, I don't know. I need to see at least like a month's worth of work.
Yeah.
A month's worth of consistency.
I guess it is a little different with the Sox because, like, for the most part, you're dealing with either very established veteran guys who've been good or young guys who have shown flashes. Like for the Cubs, it's like the wisdom thing. Like it's only a week in, but I hate to say it, you can kind of already tell. Like everyone's been making the same joke. It's like every time I tweet something about wisdom, it's like, oh, I wonder. It's like, oh, shocker. Who would have known that 30-year-old career minor leaguer would be struggling? And it's like, yeah, you're kind of right.
Yeah. I guess now we're at the part where but another thing that was really nice to see, and I know there's a million and one jokes about this guy because he earned it. I mean, the guy got caught cranking it in a fucking parking lot.
I was going to say, he could be your new guy.
Nah, no. But Reese McGuire caught for Velasquez. And I'll tell you, defensively, Zach Collins wasn't doing what he did. I mean,
have you seen the tweets? Blue Jays fans.
Blue Jays fans are not happy about that trade. But it is nice to have a backup catcher who is defensively sound.
Yes.
That Vince Velasquez start doesn't go 4 innings if McGuire didn't do his thing. It was, I mean, he's hitting a little bit. I think he's 2 for 7 on the year, but it's the defense that really stood out for me. And
throughout a guy?
Yeah, throughout a guy, like handedly. Like but handedly. But no,
Reese McGuire frozen rope to say that was fantastic.
that was just great to see because Seby Zavala is okay defensively. Zach Collins is cheeks, but it's nice now where if Grandal's not behind
Mercedes.
The dish, I forgot about Mercedes. If Grandal's not behind the dish, though, you don't have to really worry about it defensively.
I mean, you can make the argument that like your best. Well, no, you can make. Well, shit, you got AJ Pollock though. Yep. But now with Pollock out, like right now, if you have Grandal at DH with McGuire behind the plate defensively, like
it's okay.
That's maximizing that lineup.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. But then the problem with that is where there's Andrew Vaughn, and then there's all this other stuff. And
Andrew Vaughn and Wright.
Well, then where's AJ Pollock?
Well, he's injured right now. Well, that's what I'm saying. Right now, right now.
But again, it comes full circle back to it's weird that the White Sox have these good problems.
You have
This is a very good problem to have.
you have capable replacements. It's like you don't
Yes.
feel like fuck. You don't feel that dread. I think Danny Mendick played the other day, but like right now, with everyone healthy, you wouldn't really have to resort to that. And nothing against Danny Mendick because I think he did step up when there was injuries in the past. But it's like you don't feel like, oh man, like you said earlier, you don't feel like that Sunday lineup. It's like, oh damn it. Well, hopefully they can
Yeah.
score a couple runs here. You're just like, all right, nice. We got a couple. We got if it's not Vaughn out there, you got Sheets in there. Maybe it's a home run. You got Angle. He's going to play solid defense, have some speed. You have McGuire. You're going to get great defense. Probably catch a couple runners stealing.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like you don't have to worry about Danny Mendick taking up at bats because when AJ comes back and Moncada comes back, there's no more Danny Mendick on the major league team.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, there's probably no Jake Berger either. But Jake.
No, I can maybe see. Didn't you guys carry an extra pitcher?
Right now, yes, they have an extra guy in the bullpen. But was it at the end of April?
At the end that's right. At the end of April, it does go back down to 26.
Yep. But
keep breaking, Jake.
Gavin Sheets hasn't exactly set the world on fire out of the gates here, and I know you want him for the big lefty bat, and that's probably how he's going to stay up on the big club. But Jake Berger's showing me something, man. He is hitting.
I think we're going to have that conversation.
Yeah.
At the end of April, because I'm not a Gavin Sheets hater. It's just I'm going off the track record in the minors. I know he had a great. When he got called up last year, he just smashing the ball all over the place. But I don't know. And again, the other thing with Sheets is like he's taking away the at bats from Vaughn. You can't have that. You cannot have that.
No, and I don't think he can play second, but Berger, I can't. And Berger's pretty much pinned to third base.
Yeah, I mean Berger can play like what, third, first, maybe. Maybe.
I mean, he could definitely play first. I mean, he's a third baseman by trade, but it's not like you're going to put him at shortstop.
Right. No, but like you can't really like Gavin Sheets isn't really a good right fielder.
No, Gavin Sheets basically play first base.
Like half of first base. Yeah. So like, I mean, at least that Jake Berger is a third baseman. So if you're talking defensively, that's advantage Jake Berger, I think. Because you already have Vaughn backing up Abreu for first base.
It's true.
I do think that's going to be a conversation though.
But the biggest thing, the biggest
at the end of April.
It's just she just has that. The White Sox don't have any lefties.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so like,
but you have to go through. I think you have to go through best hitters. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe you're right. Maybe they do keep him just because, like, hey, we need to have a lefty bat besides Grandal.
Josh Harrison left the game with back stiffness. I really think the White Sox are just playing things extremely cautious.
Well, it's raining. Maybe he has that arthritis.
I mean, it's 50 degrees out. It's raining. It's April 13th. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. I mean, I love the positive attitudes though, because I bet if I was on the Pinwheels and Ivy Twitter right now, and if I was scrolling down the timeline, there'd be pure panic right now.
Well,
so I do enjoy your and I think you're right. I'm not even making fun of you. I think you are right. They're just being cautious.
Yeah, I think I really do. And I mean,
however, I do have to say, whenever you hear back,
and for an old guy,
it gets touchy. Yeah, for an older veteran guy, it's like, is that going to be a chronic thing?
Yeah, I think. I mean, if this was, an August game that had divisional implications, I think Eloy's still in the game. I think Josh Harrison's still in the game. Yeah. I think, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm very okay with this.
And that's the other thing with, we talked about the pitchers, still ramping up because of the short swing training. Like, these guys are like basically playing their first week in a row for the first time. Like because they would play like once every 2 games in spring training for those 3 weeks. So this is like the first time they're playing like through an entire week of baseball. So like they're little injuries pop up here and there.
Yeah, and
Not even just little sore stuff. I mean, the Elo thing, like he got hit or he fouled that pitch off.
So I took your. I was just wanted to see, and yeah, there's some panic.
I told you.
There's some panic.
But here's the thing: I can't even make fun of those fans too because of all the injuries. Because there has been so many already.
Yep. Yeah.
Like count them down. It's been Crochet, Lynn, Giolito, Pollock. That's 4 already. Obviously, 2 of them major, 2 of them, not as bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to send out a calm down tweet to everyone. Being precautious. Look at me using big words.
Oh, make sure you spell it right there.
I did not, but that is the beauty of this. Precautious.
I do have to say that Nick Madrigal, please start hitting line drives.
Yeah, he will. I really have faith in it. I know I'm just said I'm not going to talk about anything, and
hey, we're just talking ball here.
We're going to defer all Nick Madrigal talk to K-Fids, but yeah, he did this. He's not a very quick starter.
Yeah, I think he didn't get off until like May, right? Last year.
Right. Yeah. And it could be just a weather thing. It could be whatever. It could be he just needs to see it. But
I have to say though, perfect ballpark for him to snap out of it if he does, snap out of it this weekend in Colorado. Huge outfield, spray those little line drives all over the place, get some base hits there. So that's a great ballpark for him to hopefully snap out of it.
Yep. So no, I'm
also a good test. Also a good test for the Cubs pitching. I mentioned how I don't think the Brewers are a good offense. The Pirates are the Pirates. I know they touched up Kyle Hendricks, but overall, Pirates aren't that good of an offensive team. So a good test here. 4-game series against the Rockies, Chris Bryant's Rockies, the first place Colorado Rockies.
If I was a Pirates fan, I would be so mad about that. They have like 2 MLB ready studs in their farm system, and they're just not calling them up.
They have a guy who today I think went 4 for 4, and he's already challenging Nolan Arenado for like best defensive third baseman. Ke'Bryan Hayes is a stud, dude.
He's very good.
He is a stud.
He didn't get hurt, did he? I saw he took. Yeah.
I think the very first game was just like a little minor thump thing, but he's been back ever since. And then I think today, like he was playing with a broken glove, just making elite plays at third base. He had his glove replaced like in the 8th inning.
He deserved every penny of it, but I'm almost kind of surprised that Pittsburgh gave him the bag.
Did you? I didn't know this, but that is their biggest contract to a player since Jason Kendall.
Oh Jesus! I got no room to talk though.
Right. I mean, hey, at least you guys have recently, Grandal, Luis Robert, Moncada, Eli. You guys pay those guys. If the Pirates like notoriously cheap though.
I know, but if they don't back up a fucking multiple Brinks trucks to Luis Roberts' house when the time comes.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, if this plays out like we all think it's going to play out.
Are his options club options or are they mutual options?
I believe they're like he took a ridiculously team-friendly deal.
Because if they're club options, you're still fine because you'll still have him through like 29, right? Or 28?
They have him for a very long time.
Yeah.
He's under Luis Roberts signed a 6-year, $50 million contract with the White Sox, including $50 million guaranteed, an annual average salary of $8.3 in 2022. Robert will earn a base salary of $6 million.
Jeez.
But yeah, 6 years, $50 million.
Okay, so in 2026 and 2027, those are club options.
I'm looking right now. So
that's through age 29. Oh yeah, you're fine. Those are worth $20 million.
Yeah, and then his first year of free agency is 2028.
Yeah. Oh no, you're
hopefully
fine.
He never sees. I want him when he's 98 years old, buried in his White Sox uniform.
I think he can still hit like
Yeah.
250 when he's that age.
Oh, I love this tweet from Jeff Passan. Vlad Jr. walked into Yankee Stadium, faced the highest paid pitcher in the history of baseball, launched 1,286 feet worth of home runs, and left the stadium with a W and a share of first place for Toronto. King maneuver.
Woo!
Jeff is bringing the heat with that. That is a beauty of a tweet right there.
Just twisting the knife. I love the reporters who like mix it in there because like you have the straightforward guys like Rosenthal,
Yep.
Nightingale, who's just in his own world. John Heyman sometimes mixes it up, but more often for the worse. But Jeff Passan is a fun dude. I remember going back to when he was like writing at Yahoo.
Mhm.
Always fun to follow.
Well, yeah. I mean, he has a personality.
Right. Which is shocking because
Yeah.
normally you think of ESPN people kind of cringe, but not him.
No, he's the
An
one
outlier.
guy. Yeah, the outlier. We need to just start doing shows during every game and just start talking about things we're concerned about. Kendall Graverman just came in for the Sox and just looked amazing.
I mean, we need to. Kevin's gonna want. We need a live stream of Kevin for all of his all the Chris Bryant at bats against the Cubs this weekend.
Yeah, I think Fids is going to need to stay in Mexico. And we're just gonna have to start doing live shows during games and just talking about guys we're concerned about. Or talking guys up because we were talking about Luis Robert and he just hit home run.
Yeah. TA doesn't have the power. Home run.
Nope, home run. Don't worry, guys. Graverman will be better. Comes in, throws a gem of an inning.
Yep.
And that's the one thing too that I think White Sox fans need to keep in mind as you're watching these Seattle games. Seattle's a good fucking team, man.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't them beating up on like the Royals. Like this is a team that could win the AL West. I actually have money on it.
Ooh.
Like I think they are going to win the AL West. I still can't get over how good that kid looked on Tuesday.
Marsh, right? I forget.
Marsh, yeah.
Marsh, yeah. No, dude, no, because we just talked about TA, what an incredible hitter he is. When I saw him just like completely flail at that slider, I'm like, whoa, this guy's different. This guy is nasty. And then I think Luis Robert struck out his first plate appearance, which again, going back to Luis Robert, what a great adjustment. He's like, all right, you're going to throw me that nasty ass slider. I'll wait for it when it's a little bit up and I'll hit a home run to right field.
Mm-hmm.
But that guy, and then he was like throwing 99. I think they were talking about during the broadcast, he was a converted infielder. So that's why he has that like the unique arm slot.
Yeah.
He just slings it up there.
Mm-hmm.
So like that is also another thing that makes him nasty.
It is way too early to make that argument, Omar.
I mean, I love Seiya Suzuki, but he can end up being a better hitter. But Ohtani can pitch. So I mean, we're talking about overall player. It's always going to be Ohtani just because he has a skill set.
Yeah, and you can't. That's
like 99.9% of players.
And it's not even like even Ohtani versus Suzuki. Ohtani versus any player in Major League Baseball right now. No one's doing what Ohtani does. We're seeing like
hey, Omar. I was saying about Seiya Suzuki too. I think he's gonna be. I think he has to be. He's obviously the early favorite for Rookie of the Year. He's probably going to win that. Again, we are talking about a 27-year-old guy. It's a veteran guy who's done it for 8-9 years over in Japan. He seems to be adjusting well, but be cautious because, as always, there are going to be the struggle times, and pitchers are going to adjust. They're going to start tagging him more inside fastballs. They're going to try to tie him up. He is very patient at the plate, so a lot of teams are gonna try to just get that easy strike one on him. So it's gonna be on him to adjust. Jump on those first pitch fastballs, but we'll see. Good start though. Great start.
Also, fun thing that I didn't see until I'm just doom scrolling through White Sox Twitter right now.
By the way, this is during a dominant offensive showing.
Yep. Just saw Vladdy's first 2 home runs just by chance. He pimped both of them.
No. Vlad Vladdy's a legend.
Absolutely love the fact that he did that because Garrett Cole is just such a fucking wiener. So I'm happy he pimped those. Very happy about that.
I think you're
Very
happier
happy.
right now than the Luis Robert home run.
No.
You have that little smirk on your face right now.
Yeah, because yeah.
What is it about just guy? Because like I think they were talking about it on a PMT. Like once, like Garrett Cole before he got to the Yankees, you didn't think of him as like a fucking dork or like this like
Right.
loser. But
Well,
like
I
once
mean,
he got to the Yankees, like what the hell?
you just have a bigger spotlight on you, a more
Yeah, no,
national
that's it.
spotlight. You know, when you're on the Yankees, even a team like Houston, like they're a big team, but like their nationwide coverage is nothing like the Yankees.
Like I think the last thing I remember from him with Houston was after I think they got because that's when they lost against the Nationals, right? Or was that before? I forget, but like so like he was gonna head into free agency and he's like in the post game wearing like the Boars hat and everyone's like, oh shit, yeah, no, he's out of Houston. It's like, but like nobody was like shit talking Garrett Cole, but now it's like every other day there's some story about him. It's like, dude, what?
I don't know if he was this big of a crybaby when he was in Houston.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like
very much what Yumper's saying in the comments. You know, a lot of stuff comes from the whole sticky stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
when
that
he got
really,
called out, yeah,
that kind of messed with him a little bit. But like, I mean, going back to it, dude, like he's crying about a game starting 3 minutes late, like. And then I just saw a great tweet. So apparently, after he hit his first home run, Vlad Jr. like cut his finger and it was like bleeding. They had to stop the game to put a bandage on it.
Okay.
And somebody tweeted, "Hey guys, take it easy. Garrett Cole doesn't like blood. He saw the blood on Vladdy's hand, and that made him throw another home run to Vladdy." Like, I love Twitter sometimes. Sometimes. But I mean, as Andrew Vaughn's up in the bottom of the eighth, 1 out, 3-1 count, nobody on. Some dude named Ramirez, 6-3.
Sorry, so this is nothing against the Sox offense right now, but if you can just not score anymore, give Liam another save opportunity.
Oh, okay. I was like, did you take the under? Because I know the under it was at 9 for this game.
No.
Probably
so you bet the over, huh?
So yeah, I wouldn't mind another run. Okay. Would not mind it.
What do the Sox have this weekend?
The Sox have 1 second. Let me. I used to know it, and then I didn't know it, and then hold on 1 second. Schedule, if you will. Got one more game against Seattle. Got a day game against Seattle on Thursday, and then the Rays of Tampa Bay are here for the weekend.
Ooh, that's gonna be fun.
They're off to a slower start than people thought, right?
Their pitching has not been that great against Oakland this series.
Right now, the projected start. So Jimmy Lambert's going to go for the White Sox Thursday during the day, which is always an adventure.
Over.
And then Friday night versus Tampa Bay, we got a nice matchup. We got Dylan Cease versus Corey Kluber.
Ooh, okay.
And then on Saturday, we have Mr. Kopech versus Patino. And then on Sunday, the White Sox have Velasquez penciled in, and Tampa has yet to name their starter. And then Monday, oh, Jesus Christ. Monday, they go into Cleveland, and we get a Dallas Keuchel versus Shane Bieber.
Hey, but Dallas Keuchel's back. I can't even say it without joking.
Yeah, right.
Keuchel's back, though.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, hey, if you get, what do you go against the Mariners? 5 innings, 3 runs?
Yeah.
You'll take that every time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they can work with that. The interesting
just don't pitch to Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, interesting to note on the Guardian series, the White Sox, Cleveland has McKenzie going. The White Sox have yet to name a starter. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the game
for Cueto. Has there been anything on him? Like how his
dude? He literally everyone's favorite South American beat reporter Hector Gomez.
MLB #1 MLB
who
insider.
but actually, no, fuck Hector. He
Oh,
endorsed Buzz in the 108 tournament when I was going
that's
against
right. I
him.
did see that.
That
We're a
was
Mike Rodriguez show.
big Mike Rodriguez show. But Hector tweeted out a picture of Johnny Cueto like in a full White Sox uniform, like doing like some awkward like high school senior prom pose with his hand on his hip, like Cueto is ready. So I guess he's ready.
One of the last things I remember from Johnny Cueto, he posted a picture of his dead horse on Instagram one time.
Yep, I remember that. He's a weird dude, man.
Johnny Cueto's a weird ass.
But
but everything about him like kind of fits in with this outside. Like,
yep, he's definitely gonna be one of those guys where when he's pitching against your team, you're like, oh, enough with this bullshit wind up crap. And then if he comes and pitches for the White Sox and it works and he starts throwing, gets 4 or 5 good innings, everyone's gonna be like, oh, his wind up is dope.
No, I was gonna say the other thing is Johnny Cueto can have the same performance that Dallas Keuchel has, but like people are gonna be freaking out when like Cueto gives up like 3 or 4 runs.
Right.
But if Keuchel does it.
A couple important things too. The Friday night game, the Cease Kluber matchup game.
All right, so no one's watching that.
Yep, plan accordingly.
Hit up the DMs if you want to stream.
We'll end the show. So Wednesday, April 27th, I'm very happy to say we have a very special guest coming on the show. Obviously, we'll tweet about this more as we're at an hour and a half here. Yumper, I'm pretty sure you're the only person watching right now.
This is the last one. Hung in there.
Jonathan Nelson, the GM of the Birmingham Barons, will be joining us on the show to discuss what's going on in Beham, and just we're gonna ask some questions about what's it like it for the minor leaguers and who's he like. I mean, he sees these guys every day.
He's got a big names for the size, right?
Yeah, he's got a lot of them are in Kannapolis, but like Montgomery's in Kannapolis, Colas is in Kannapolis.
Is Cespedes in Delray?
I think Cespedes is in Birmingham.
There you go.
We'll get updates on all those guys, and hopefully he can, kind of clue us in.
Maybe we could ask him if he's going to allow batters to start lighting their bats on fire.
Dude, the Savannah Bananas are phenomenal.
But that's the thing. They have such great marketing. It wasn't even them.
No, it was so they're like the Harlem Globetrotters, and that team they play against, they're called the Party Animals. They're like the Generals.
Oh, okay.
But the great thing is, all these kids that are playing in these games, they're all like real baseball players. Yeah. It's just they have like this opening in their season where they can do this, and apparently it's like a phenomenal show. I personally feel like I need to go check this out because it looks awesome. Maybe I'll go to Savannah, Georgia, and then head over to Birmingham, Alabama, just have a good old southern trip. But I got to tell Jonathan I need some Barons 3930 hats, because right now they don't make hats for the large-headed gentlemen.
For the big-headed men.
No, but
by the way, what is that hat? So I saw you post new hat, new lid.
This is the Washington Nationals. Their city. I just like it because it's got the flowers there. It's a little gray with some little hints of pink in there and stuff like that. And so
W for White Sox. Okay.
Sure.
W for the Cubs.
Yeah,
W.
I already had somebody say, "Oh, that's a nice Cubs W hat," and I was like, "No, I just got this, dude. Don't ruin it for me." Yeah, so I got this one in the mail today. I also got a new Red Sox hat just because I got every team, and I needed a new Red Sox one. So
okay.
I just went with the classic dark navy with the red B. But
then you still have the Blue Jays hat, right? From a couple years ago?
I got pretty much, you name a team, I got them.
Oh, speaking of the Blue Jays, just one last thing that's great. I'd always shit on like the way that MLB does things a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But them finally having the umpires mic'd up to explain what is being challenged, and then they have to announce the call afterwards. Did you see that play in Toronto?
Yes, it
was
awesome.
The crowd goes crazy. That was amazing. Like, oh my God, I can't wait for the playoffs for that tap.
Yeah, no, that was really, really cool. Like, that was a really cool moment. And Although, just so you know, White Sox stranded runners on first and second. We're going to the top of the ninth, and Liam's coming in.
There we go, Liam. Give me that save.
So, Luis Robert is the first White Sox player ever with 2 home runs and 4 stolen bases in the first 5 games of a season.
5-tool player.
We're watching something special, folks. Don't ruin it by being nervous about fucking everything. I know it's become very cliche at this point, but literally, like,
I do wonder though, because obviously we live on Twitter. Some of us more than others, but we're on Twitter every day, almost every hour, checking shit,
mhm.
going back and forth on stuff. But I think we have gotten to the point where the ironic stuff that gets tweeted, where it's become too real now. It's not ironic anymore.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I've also just started laughing at a lot more shit. Like, I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is where you want to take this? You know what I mean? It's like,
The mute function for conversation is so great nowadays.
wait, you
Like,
can if you're stuck in a convo, you can get out of it.
I think you can just mute it.
I had 2 dudes talking about like restaurants in Indiana for like 20 tweets, and I'm like, how do I get out of this? Oh, I didn't realize I could just mute
No, I
it.
think you can go back to the thread and then get the drop down menu. And it's mute this
I've said
conversation.
for so long that they need to because that's one of the worst things on Twitter is when you get caught
Yes.
in a conversation.
When you're still tagged and they're just
Yeah.
going back and forth, and you're like, I don't care about any of this.
No, these dudes were literally talking about like pizza places in Northwest Indiana. I'm like, I don't plan on going to any of these places ever. So, anyways, yeah, I feel good about that. I feel good about the show, and Liam's gonna come in here now. I'm gonna go watch it and rip a lung dart while he does it because he's gonna make me nervous. But hopefully, he gets the save for you. And make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at Pinwheels Ivy Pod, and we'll see you guys next week. That's all, though. I'm Zoe. Take care, everybody.